Colson. Everybody familiar with Chuck Colson's?
Yeah.
How about Wilberforce Forum? It was his think tank that he created to engage the culture in Judeo-Christian biblical worldview approach. And he had his dean of Wilberforce Forum speak to the 2005 National Right to Life Convention. His name was Nigel Cameron. Nigel was from the UK where this was going on. He said there are two terms that will come to dominate public policy in the 21st century. And you've never heard of one of them, he said. One of them is eugenics. That will come to dominate public policy in the 21st century, eugenics. And the other is transhumanism. And everybody looks funny, and nobody knows what that is, but our kids do. Spider-Man, Iron Man, all the entertainment right now with transgenic humans that have been enhanced in some way, biologically or mechanically, is what transhumanism is doing. It's creating, its objective is to create Homo perfectus, a whole new human species. Man created in the image of man. Okay, that's what transhumanism is. And they are actively debating this at a policy level right now. I engage college students on that issue, and they're being taught it in their classes right now. This is not science fiction. It's just science extruded into the future, which is where we get our entertainment known as science fiction, is taking existing scientific achievements and extrapolating them into the near future. So policy is being debated right now at a bioethics level, and we as pro-lifers are totally absent, totally silent. It's like a microphone with nobody stepping up and speaking into it. The personhood movement is doing so as part of the battle that we're engaged in. Yes, ma'am?
When you mentioned about having an office in Albany, if you had Personhood in New York, is that actually the organization here started that they would have to, the board would basically, somebody from the board would be in Albany and a paid staff member full-time?
Yeah, well, what we're willing to do as a national organization is come in and fund your development director for 3 months. Fund the salary of your development. Nothing happens until the money comes in. Nothing. We need a budget of $250,000 here for the state of New York, a full-time office, staff up in Albany, an executive director that can speak and help to manage the organization as it grows and adds staff. You ought to see Personhood Wisconsin. They're doing an excellent job. They've been around for a while. They've got 5 full-time staff. They've got a full-time lobbyist, and they've raised money successfully. Now, that is where we would like you to be, and we will help you get there through training, through oversight, through financial underwriting to get you started until you're able to stand on your own feet. Yes, ma'am. Annabelle.
I want to go back to Carol. I want to go to the pig. Do we have a developed pig that looks human in any way?
No.
Okay, so then now let's go to Albany. We're going to Albany on Wednesday.
Right.
Busloads are going in. We have it every year from the Knights of Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Will you or any of your people be there speaking with the other senators that come out, the other representatives that come out and speak?
Only, I will not be, because I'll be in North Dakota and shepherding that through. We've got 4 full-time people on staff, and that's for an international impact. We're expanding left and right, and we have to have the states be self-funded and independent. You will be an affiliate of Personhood USA under a memorandum of understanding that we all agree to these principles, but you'll be independent. We won't tell you what to do or how to do it. We've just agreed to get the movement going here, help to, like a rising tide lifts all boats, as we involve ourselves at the national level, representing Personhood, and individually fund projects like North Dakota's ballot initiative. We're going to open up 6 offices in North Dakota. Do you know how many towns there are in North Dakota that can...
7.
There are 6. We will be in every one of those 6 demographic centers of activity in North Dakota with a Personhood North Dakota office that is aggregating, activating, informing, and releasing the political action up into a 2014 vote. Yes, ma'am.
I was just thinking when she said there was a human, a pig that looked like a human, they're not like combining, they're taking an embryo that's already fully human, right?
Yes.
And then they're killing it. And then they're using that material
To create a human-animal hybrid.
They're not like taking like, they're not like trying to smush the 2 species together, they're just using that material of the human that they killed,
Actually,
right?
we've got a bill in Georgia that would outlaw about 12 different conditions of human-animal hybrids, including the smashing together of human sperm and an animal egg.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, listen, because they can do it, they are doing it. All right, China, North Korea, and the United States are the least regulated countries in the area of biotech. We have no effective regulation on anything biotech. It is a brave new world, and I didn't even read that book by Aldous Huxley until 2 years ago, and was appalled at how it is common practice now today. So it was very prophetic in what is happening out there, and we're achieving it. Yes,
this has to be a separate movement. It's not something that you can blend in with our normal right to life stuff. You know, this is the abortion capital of the United States that you're sitting in,
and
right?
Georgia is number 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
Late-term abortion. New York is number 1, and then they come to Georgia, and we stopped that. We banned a $21 million industry.
See, we
last year.
we have a lot of trouble with our state government.
Yes.
We have a virulently insane pro-abortion governor. Remember, he's the son of the famous "I'm personally opposed," but who's given pro-abort legislators cover for decades now, right? And it's a tough road here, because we spend, in the right to life movement, I bet you we spend 80% of our time fighting off an extension, right? That's what Cuomo wants to make abortion a right like this. Like freedom of speech in this state.
Well, Mitch is from the Marines, and he queried me today. You don't expend resources in a failing war effort, and New York would be considered one of those places.
Yeah.
Well, we begin with education, and you're educating your community. You're educating your assemblyman. You're educating one at a time, and you will have the media descend on you when you do that. And guess what? That becomes a fantastic opportunity to educate the next level, Now, when you get a candidate up there and they identify him as pro-personhood, all hell breaks loose on that candidate. The cameras come in, they stick the microphones like Aiken and Murdoch under his face to see if they can catch him or her in some kind of statement. And once again, you're using the political process to educate the culture around you, providing an alternative.
It's like to clarify something, when you're talking about politicians, we used to have a right to life party here. And with all due respect to the right to life party, they would try to fill the slate with bodies. And they weren't people necessarily, and some of them would admit this, that you wanted in front of a camera, only because they were really there as a third party purpose. We want to get right to life out there. So when you talk about getting somebody who will stand up and say, I'm a pro-personhood, are you really advocating that the PAC selects people who want to win and will act to win, or are you advocating, find somebody who will sign on these principles and then it kind of ends?
What I would suggest you do in New York, as Personhood New York PAC, is that you do a survey. You find a geographical, what do you call them here, assembly districts?
Districts.
Districts?
Yeah.
You find a district where the demographics are favorable to what you want to accomplish.